And you came to me like a bird to the breeze, and we floated together for a while.
We're for every kind of smile and amazing savings. Like 2 liters Spa Extra Shelf Life milk for just $32.99 and Huggies Dry Comfort Nappy Pants Jumbo Pack for only $179.99. Spa, we're for smiles.
There's no price like the ShopRite price, which means you'll get low prices on everything you need, like Coca-Cola, Fanta or Sprite for only $17.99 each, and Nutrific cereal for just $49.99. The ShopRite price, the price you can trust, always.
Good evening. The time now is 8:30 p.m. This is Eswatini TV News. I am Natili Sitole. Alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, let's have a look at our top stories. His Majesty King Mswati III has signed a memorandum of understanding between Eswatini and the Emigate Holding Company in Abu Dhabi. On another note, His Majesty King Mswati III has arrived in the capital of Taiwan on a state visit and says Eswatini will continue to advocate for Taiwan's inclusion in the United Nations. Minister of Agriculture Jablan Mabuza says retailers should prioritize buying from local farmers for the benefit of everyone in the horticulture value chain. The news. His Majesty King Mswati III says the objective of the Kingdom of Eswatini is to encourage expansion of existing businesses and increase the rate of new investment projects. His Majesty was speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Kingdom and the Emigate Holdings Company in Abu Dhabi.
Thank you. How are you? Nice to see you.
It is His Majesty King Mswati III and the people of Eswatini's vision to see the Kingdom of Eswatini develop and becoming a first world country. The King and Ingwenyama, with the assistance of the government of Eswatini, is doing everything possible to make this vision successful. The King had another meeting with the EMI Gate, whereby the company was doing a presentation of what it can offer to the Kingdom. During this occasion, His Majesty was accompanied by Inkosikati Mage Lamashwama. The Kingdom of Eswatini has signed a memorandum of understanding with the company. This follows the meeting between His Majesty the King and the EMI Gate company, which occurred here in Abu Dhabi. The company is looking into developing investment in trade, tourism sector, health and media, just to name a few. The Memorandum of Understanding was signed by the Minister of Commerce and Trade Industry, Mangoba Kumalo, and the founder of the company, Fatima Al-Kabi. The Memorandum of Understanding seeks to improve priority areas of cooperation like trade and investment, mining and beneficiation, energy, health sector, and tourism sector, just to name a few. Addressing the gathering, His Majesty King Mswati III said this engagement is an opportunity to create synergies with the Emirates management investments that can boost trade and investment in Eswatini for the benefit of everyone.
That's why we're here in the UAE to partner with the government, with the private sector, so that together we can move forward and create a better infrastructure, a better structure for the Kingdom of Eswatini. Our aim is to make Eswatini to be one of the first world countries. Currently, we are still recognized as the middle income country. We want to pass that stage and reach the standard where we could be regarded as, the first world status quo. Obviously, we realize that in order to achieve this, you have to go to others who have already been there. The UAE, if one looked at it with the development that you have already achieved, we can say that there's a lot of experience that we can obviously share together. We are here in the UAE to make that partnership I'm happy and I've listened to you, and we are happy that you all also understand that we can partner together, and together we can make a lot of progress. And the fact that a memorandum of understanding is to be signed to open the way, to pave the way for all of us to start working more and more seriously. I'm happy to hear that the MOU, we will support and give all the necessary support that it may deserve. And of course, whenever, we will go beyond the memorandum of understanding. If anything is not there, we are ready to facilitate because we are flexible.
The company is ready to work with the kingdom in providing all the support and assistance in various sectors in order to take the kingdom to greater heights. Head of International Cooperation, Nabiola Drame, emphasized on their interest and preparation of going to Eswatini to begin the journey.
We are ready to make some cooperation together, especially in mining, which is coal, very important for us. Over 15 million tons per year we are handling, trading under MIGA holding to the Turkish market. I explained. We are ready to bring investors, bring the construction companies or the professional. We have one system that we are working on it. We are having a project from the government, signing contract, we finance it, and we manage it 30 years, 40 years, and redelivering to the government to finance all the, yes, exactly. So these are our professional subject that we can do with you, or we can develop with you. Your country is good for us to invest and do the business and cooperate many projects. As I know, especially energy is also, especially the turbine, wind turbine that we, So we are in, I think. We are in, if you also accept. Thank you very much.
Also present during the signing ceremony was Her Royal Highness Princess Sikanyiso, the Minister of Information, Communication and Technology. Her Royal Highness highlighted the future plans of the kingdom in developing the ICT sector. The Minister of Finance also had remarks on the financial part, and the Minister of Commerce and Trade Industry pointed out on the road that is expected to be taken by the kingdom in developing this sector. The Eswatini ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, His Excellency Fiso Dlamini, was also present during these presentations. On the news, I am Polile Mazia in Abu Dhabi.
His Majesty King Mswati III says the Kingdom of Eswatini will continue to voice support for Taiwan's inclusion in the United Nations system. His Majesty was speaking in Taipei City in Taiwan, where he has arrived to formally start his state visit. His Majesty the King is accompanied by Nkosikazi Magelamashwama.
His Majesty King Mswati III touched down at Taoyuan International Airport in Taipei City, accompanied by Nkosikazi Magelamashwama for his 18th visit to Taiwan and the first visit since the COVID-19 pandemic began. The King and Nkosikazi were welcomed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Joseph Wu.
Your Majesty, welcome to Taiwan.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Nice to see you again.
I'm so happy you are here.
Long time.
Yes, I know. Don't worry.
Big hopes are pinned on the state visit as it comes at a time when His Majesty the King is redoubling efforts to resuscitate the economy by enticing international investors to invest in Eswatini. Taiwan and Eswatini have maintained strong ties since establishing diplomatic relations in 1968 and have had long-lasting close cooperation in the fields of agriculture, infrastructure, medical care and public health, education and information and communication technology. On the other hand, Eswatini has always been a strong supporter of Taiwan's efforts to gain meaningful participation in the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the International Civil Aviation Organization. His Majesty says he will make use of the visit to fortify bonds of solidarity that exist between the two countries and to formally extend appreciation for Taiwanese support. The King once again appealed to the world to back Taiwan's participation in the United Nations.
The people of Eswatini will continue to stand with Taiwan and will also continue to work and cooperate in a number of areas, even make the appeal on behalf of Taiwan to the rest of the world that Taiwan should once again be a member of most of the UN agencies. And we are looking forward to that day. And also coming here is to express the sincere thanks for the support and commitment that Taiwan has shown towards the Kingdom of Eswatini.
A statement that was released by the Taiwan Ministry of Foreign Affairs states that President Tsai Ing-wen will host a welcoming ceremony for His Majesty at the Presidential Building on Friday, and that the King will further explore opportunities for wider cooperation in economic development, investment and trade, and energy infrastructure. In Taipei City, I am Sandile Makanya for Eswatini TV News.
Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says government is addressing the issue of phase 2 of the restructuring exercise within security forces. The Premier says government believed that the matter had been resolved during the 2016 salary review exercise. However, it seems to still be a concern. The Prime Minister has said this in the House of Assembly, where he also passed his condolences to families, relatives and colleagues of 2 police officers who were killed in Manzini on Tuesday morning.
Bahlonishwa beva ungathi ngabe sithi siyabhadala nje masinyane kanti phela sikhuluma nebantu ngeke nje besuso sengifike egcineni mina kufuna ukuthi nivumelane ukuthi na uthi amandla akho agcina la siyavuma ukuthi singakuthatha lo sinika kona kungako kumhlonishwa minister athunywe ukuthi ayobakhulumisa nelibandla lakhe kuze kufike la ungathi khona kuyevuwana bese ke kuyacala kuyabhadalwa nabo kuyabhadaleka indzaba ya 65 million na ubuka lokubhaliwe hayilele yakusho indvuna kuthi le mali yema appeals. Now, wema appeals afaka onke lama civil service, not just sema forces. Now, ayisinganani ke le mali na uyibuka. Labanye ngene nabo bake bangena la cabinet. Ikhona lenza. Bayishiye etafuleni. So ke ungabuta ukuthi bayishiya kanjani etafuleni esikondeni sokuthi bayibuke ukuthi icece labanye bebakhona la parliament indzaba ye dialogue Mr Speaker i-dialogue yebo iyafuneka but uyeva ngisho bakhuluma bahlonishwa lana ukuthi vele le dialogue ayinawuba nako lokuba free usukhulume what you think ngoba kubekwe sibhamda utawusukhuluma nanyalo bayasho nje sabathi nosibati bafike emakhaya ngoba kufuna bagadze sibathini.
Minister of Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza says everyone in the horticulture value chain should benefit fairly. Mabuza says retailers should also prioritize buying from local farmers. The minister said this during a meeting linking farmers to market opportunities held at a Sibayan Lodge in Matapa.
This meeting was a platform where farmers were linked with their market. Minister of Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza said access to the market was key to the success of farmers, in particular those in rural areas.
Such platforms provide both information and solutions to all the stakeholders. I wish you all fruitful deliberations that are solution-driven and expect to see reports of improved profitability because of new market opportunities with good prices for our farmers.
Eswatini Water and Agriculture Development Enterprise Chief Executive Officer Samson Sitole highlighted the importance of the meeting.
To enhance farmer compliance to trading opportunities, to facilitate trade agreements and opportunities for local exporters, to assess key obstacles to the self-sustaining agribusiness sector in Eswatini, to identify ways of addressing production and marketing challenges.
The meeting was attended by the National Agriculture Marketing Board, Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, as well as retailers. The Ministry of Agriculture committed itself to assisting the horticulture sector grow. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Temba Shabangu, Matsapa.
The Ministry of Tourism and Environmental Affairs will soon start consultations with relevant stakeholders on the climate change bill. This was said by the Minister Moses Vilagati during the pre-COP27 multi-stakeholder consultation meeting at the Bethel Court in Eswatini.
This is the key message that Eswatini is taking to COP27. We need to step up our efforts now for future generations. Climate change, as we are all aware, remains the greatest challenge of our generation, and Africa is one of the most impacted regions. The Ministry will soon start the consultations on our climate change bill, which will be a landmark framework legislation for Eswatini's climate change response. The climate change bill will provide for a coordinated approach between the spheres of government as well as to regulate climate action by economic sectors. The ministry is already finalizing the NDC implementation plan after we submitted it, also to ensure that it is a science-based response to climate crisis. Our government is working with the University of Eswatini and established a climate change and a sustainability research center, because we believe that all of this has got to be based on research. The ministry also is in the process of developing the National Adaptation Plan, which is very, very key for the country. Climate change does not respect borders, ladies and gentlemen. It does not respect political inclinations, nor country status. But what it does is it impacts on the lives of people globally, people we know.
The Minister of Education and Training, Lady Howard, has officially launched the 2022 to 2027 National Technical and Vocational Educational and Training Policy. Speaking during the launch at Sibanesami Hotel in Eswatini, the Minister says vocational skills contribute to job creation and help students build proficiencies necessary to succeed in life, which is why the Ministry is supporting it. The Ministry has worked with the Ministry of Labour and Social Security and UNESCO in formulating the policy.
The new TVET policy reflects His Majesty's government's new focus on skills development. The recovery of our economy is in the hands of our young people, who also happen to form a majority of our population. There is a pressing need to address the issue of the mismatch in supply and demand in the workforce and highly specialized industries. This can only be done through technical and vocational education and training, which is the future of education. TVET has the potential to close existing skill gaps in our economy through continuous training and development informed by industry's real needs. The 2022-2027 TVET policy we are launching today has taken cognizance of the technical and vocational skills development as well as youth development issues to ensure their relevance. We need multiple education initiatives and sound policies which are aimed at strengthening TVET within our country. This will serve to increase the number of highly skilled workforce in the Kingdom of Eswatini.
And in our international news, Liz Truss has announced that she will resign as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom after 44 days in office. Liz announced this today after a meeting with King Charles III. Announcing her resignation, Prime Minister Liz said when she was elected by her party, the Conservative Party, she was given a task to revive the economy, among other things. However, she believes that she cannot deliver on this, and so the reason to resign.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability. Families and businesses were worried about how to pay their bills. Putin's illegal war in Ukraine threatens the security of our whole continent, and our country has been held back for too long by low economic growth. I was elected by the Conservative Party with a mandate to change this. We delivered on energy bills and on cutting national insurance. And we set out a vision for a low-tax, high-growth economy that would take advantage of the freedoms of Brexit. I recognise, though, given the situation, I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected by the Conservative Party. I have therefore spoken to His Majesty the King to notify him that I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party. This morning I met the chairman of the 1922 committee, Sir Graham Brady. We've agreed that there will be a leadership election to be completed within the next week. This will ensure that we remain on a path to deliver our fiscal plans and maintain our country's economic stability and national security. I will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen. Thank you.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our financial markets.
It can be.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our sports news. The Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Felicia Kantu, has sponsored 8 netball ladies teams from various communities under the Sigwe constituency. The sponsorship, which comes in the form of a cash prize as well as netball kits and 40 balls, or rather balls, is 40,000 emalangeni. Shakantu says women's sports should get the same support as men's sports.
Most of the sponsorships usually go towards sports like soccer, and the ladies' netball tournaments did not have any support. So I've managed to get support from other ladies under the Eswatini network of women to raise a sponsorship of 40,000. 30,000 will be the cash prize that they're going to win from the tournament, and 10,000 we've bought netball kits for all the ladies teams. There's 8 teams that are going to get support today from the sponsorship. I want to emphasize that it's very important for the equality in terms of the sponsorships for sports, not just sports, but in all other areas, that women need to also be empowered.
Sigwe Member of Parliament David Ngampalala says sports protect adolescents from bad habits and negative behavior. He says the immediate benefit of reduced health risk is important now more than ever, as potential for spread of diseases is increasing. Sifiso Ngumalo with Vuminkosi Nzinisa for Eswatini TV News, Nduna Zitini.
National Football Association President Peter Smelane says giving more attention to women football by providing sponsorships for the Women's National League will create positive competition in the league and will also result in improving the women national team. Smelane was speaking during the InstaCash sponsorship launch to Eswatini women football that is worth 50,000 emalangeni.
Noma ubuka our national team.
The National Football Association President Peter Smelane says the recent performance of the women national team Sitsebe Samhlegazi has not been impressive due to lack of sponsors at Women's National League. Simelane believes the arrival of sponsors like Instacash will create competition amongst the women's club, which will have a positive impact on the women's football.
More than 2,000 as a person. Then after that, you'll become professional because
siyabonga kakhulu nje kulo mshado lesiuqala konamhla leSeptember kwekuthi
Bongiwa Mhlanga, the chairperson of Women Football, believes the new partnership with Instacash is the beginning of a new page in the women football.
Umsebenzi labawendawo muhle kakhulu, especially to ensure that our women at least.
Instacash Communications Manager Ongan Dube, who was representing the managing director, he says giving back to the community by sponsoring women football is one way of ensuring growth and improvement in local football fraternity.
To say, remember, this is our target market, so let's raise the bar in terms of the tournament sponsorship, the sponsorship value.
Instacash injected in 50,000 marangeni into women football for a knockout tournament to be played by 8 teams out of 13 in the National Women League. Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonara with the Muslim Konda, Mbabane.
That's all for now. Before we go, let's have a look at our top stories.
His Majesty King Mswati III has signed a memorandum of understanding between Eswatini and the Emigate Holding Company in Abu Dhabi. On another note, His Majesty King Mswati III has arrived in the capital of Taiwan on a state visit and says Eswatini will continue to advocate for Taiwan's inclusion in the United Nations. Minister of Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza says retailers should prioritize buying from local farmers for the benefit of everyone in the horticulture value chain.
And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team. As always, thank you for your company. Good night.